Hello everyone. Good morning. I'm going to try to talk softly because I know it's super early. I don't know why the hell I woke up this early, but I want to share something with you. Obviously, that's why we're on video. And, I think that when you're living your own story, when you're living your own narrative, it is so easy to get caught up in that, right? Because you're living it day to day. This is who you are. This is the story that you know. This is the story that you remember and that you've relived in your life over and over and over again. This is average Joe to you because this is who you are. And you really don't know what kind of an impact your story can have on other people's lives. And you really don't know how important your story is to other people until you go out there and tell it, until you start to share it with the world. So I want to share my story in hopes that it will encourage you with your own. So I actually, I started out in college as a music major. I went to college for classical vocal performance and became an opera singer. This is what my parents wanted me to do, and what at the time what I wanted to do as well. And if you ever ask me, I'd be happy to sing some opera for you. I still practice and try to keep that up a little bit here and there, and kind of sing for fun. But it's not something that is a huge part of my life anymore, unfortunately. But so I went to college for music and didn't know a thing about business. I didn't know a thing about marketing. I barely knew what the internet was. I went to college when Facebook was brand new. In fact, I personally can remember hearing about this thing called the Facebook, logging onto it and realizing that my school wasn't a part of it. And I actually, myself, along with several other students, we petitioned Facebook and filled out applications and all of that to get our teeny tiny little 3,200 person tiny private Christian university on the map of Facebook. And eventually it did, and we were able to get on. So I've actually had the privilege of watching Facebook grow and grow over the years. But so I went to college for music, didn't know a thing about the internet, didn't know a thing about marketing, and I get out into the real world. I had an internship at Walt Disney World, and it was such a wonderful time in my life. I'm grateful for it because it was right during 2008, 2009, where the economy was terrible and there was really nowhere to go, nothing to do, and there were no jobs. Disney had a hiring freeze, there was nothing. And so I was grateful at the time to have come out of college with something to do and somewhere to go, because everywhere else had nothing. That afforded me the chance to move from Chicago down to Florida, and I worked for Disney for about 8 or 9 months, and then continually, seasonally for about 4 or 5 years. But again, I was, doing a lot of operations work. I did a lot of arts and entertainment work. I still knew nothing about marketing, knew nothing about internet, whatever, knew nothing about business at all. And only a year later, I was laid off from a job and had basically nothing to do, nowhere to go. The economy was still crap. So I went online and I started freelancing. And my freelancing story is that, again, no skills, no nothing. I had to learn all this myself. I went to a freelancing website and said, I have maybe some typing skills, maybe some phone skills, and I'm basically willing to do just about anything short of selling myself in order to make money and in order to get experience. And so every single job that came my way, I would tell them honestly, no, I don't know how to do that, but here's something similar that I do know how to do. Here's the experience that I have that I can relate to this thing that you're asking of me. Or no, I don't know how to do that, but if you hire me, you do not have to pay me to figure it out. I will figure it out on my own, and then I will go and do it for you, whatever that was. So I did a lot of customer service. I did a lot of product descriptions. I did a lot of sitting in the background of other people's businesses, mostly men, and just kind of being that fly on the wall to watch. Who were they? How were they doing what they did? What was their process? What were the wins and what were the pitfalls? And how can I take that and do better? How can I take that and make something of it? So after a couple of years of this, of basically being a virtual assistant, I was done. I said, I'm sick and tired of helping other people make money. And at the end of the day, like, I have just about nothing to show for it. I was sick of it. I was done. I was ready to move on with my life. And then I made that transition. And all the while I'm learning, I'm investing in myself, I'm reading books, I'm taking courses, I'm doing certification courses so that I can learn different softwares. I can do this, I can do marketing, blah, blah, blah. And it really was, at the end of the day, that investment in myself that truly made all the difference. And a lot of people talk about investing in yourself. I'm sure you've heard it. If you're in like the coaching internet marketing circuit at all, this is like the hot topic. Invest in yourself, spend money with me. It can be really exhausting. And although every coach needs, your investment, or other people need their investment in you in order for you to even have a business and grow and be successful, that's true. But I think when people talk about investing in themselves, or coaches encourage you to invest in yourself, they're usually talking about money and money only. But for me, investing in myself was not only that monetary dedication, but it was a dedication of time. It was a commitment to myself, and a commitment to my business, and a commitment to my future. That I'm going to do this thing, that if I'm actually spending money on it, you bet your ass that I am going to spend time in it. You bet that I am going to get the most out of it. You bet that I'm going to take copious notes so that if this thing goes away and I never get to see it again, or I don't have access to it later, I am going to make sure that I get every ounce and every penny and every second of time that I put into this. You bet that I'm going to get that out. And so I want to encourage you to start thinking a little bit differently when it comes to your investment. You're not just investing money, but you're investing time as well. And if you can do both of those things, if you can invest money and invest some time, if you can invest even half as much time as you invest money, you will be all the more better for it in any program, whether it's mine, whether it's my coaching program, one-on-one, my group coaching program, or it's another coach's program, or it's another business program. Take that time and make that investment, because all too often, even in my own stuff, I will see people make that investment of money and not invest the time. The truth be told, like, if I could look back and say, here was this certification course, here was this coaching program, here was this thing, here was that thing. What was the one piece? What was the one program, or what was the one piece? What was the one factor that really contributed to my success? I would, at the end of the day, like, all of those programs were wonderful and amazing, and they've all the highs and the lows and the goods and the bads and the amazing bosses and the crappy bosses and the asshole bosses that made me want to be an entrepreneur and quit working for other people. All of that contributed to my life and made me who I am today. But by far, the dual investment of money and time is without a doubt the thing that propelled me forward, and the thing that made me who I am today and gave me the success that I did. Because like I said, in my story, in my narrative, I didn't know anything about marketing. I didn't know anything about Infusionsoft. I didn't know anything about CRMs. I didn't know anything about business. Hello, like I'm still learning. I'm still learning every single day, and I share that with all of the people in my group and all the people on the Facebook page. We're perpetual students. We're constantly learning and figuring things out as we go. But so the rest of my story really is that in making those investments, my now husband, then maybe fiance or boyfriend, depending at the time, I would say like, hey, I'm going to spend, what was it, like $2,000 or $3,000 for just the course alone, for like a 3 or 4 day intensive to go out to Phoenix to learn Infusionsoft, not including paying for the hotel, paying for meals, paying for, car service and all this other stuff. I'm going to go spend like $3,000 and I'm going to go to Phoenix for a couple of days. And so you're not going to hear from me. And, I'm going to go learn this thing and I've never been to Phoenix and I've never blah, blah. Like he was freaked out, you guys. Oh my gosh. He was not happy with me, with my decision. But at the end of the day, a couple of factors. 1, it's not his money. 2, it's not his business. 3, even though I was doing the best thing for me at the time, and by far, like that doubled and quadrupled my business in that investment alone. He was really scared and really nervous and, didn't know if this was going to pan out or this thing or that thing. And he always has my back and is worried about me, rightfully so. But I just had this gut feeling that this is the thing I need to do. This is what's going to propel me forward. I'm having this like angst about working for other people, trading my time for money, being sick of stretching myself so thin. I really need to focus on one thing. And this is the investment that I knew at the time is going to get me there. And unfortunately for him, I didn't quite have those words, right? It's so hard when you are on the front side of an investment to be able to say, this is what I want to come from this. These are my goals with this, and this is exactly how it's going to help me and to help my business. You don't know that. You don't know that until, hindsight is 20/20, and you can look back and say, oh yeah, that is totally the thing that I should have done. But at the time, you might not know. You have to kind of take that leap of faith. You have to trust that gut feeling to know that this is the piece that's going to get you forward. Where's my quote? Oops, sorry guys. I don't have it here on my desk, but there is a quote. I think it's Thomas Jefferson or Ben Franklin, one of those guys, who said, discontent is the first necessity of progress. And having that angst, that gut feeling, knowing that there was something more, there was something better. I didn't have to stretch myself so thin. I didn't have to work for 10 or 20 different clients in order to just make ends meet, let alone actually succeed and grow my business. And oftentimes you might not know that. You might only know once you get to hindsight and you have that 20/20 vision to be able to look back and say, oh yeah, that was the thing that I should have done. That was the thing that I did do that I'm so grateful for. But at the time, when you're on the front side of it, you only know that you have this pit in your gut, and you have to follow that. And you have to invest in yourself, not just monetarily, but you have to invest in yourself with your time as well. And so that's what I did, and that's what I did numerous times. I mean, I can give you a list of all of the times that I invested in myself. I can give you a list of all of the courses that I've taken. I can show you my wall with plaques of software certifications and all of this stuff that I have. But at the end of the day, like, it was me investing in myself and taking that time, spending a little bit of money, but especially the time, dedicating to my education, to my future, to my business, to my future family, to my future children, to the life that I wanted to live, to know that, we might not have kids now, but we want that, I suppose, relatively soon. And I need to spend the time now. I need to invest now in getting my business together to set me up for the future so that I don't have to be chained to my desk every single day, and I could spend time with my children, or I could actually raise my children myself. That's what's important to me. Other things might be important to you. So I would highly, highly encourage you, if you're thinking about an investment right now, invest money, but invest time as well. That is so, 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 so important. And if you are actually looking for a program, I am in the process of filling my group coaching program. We're going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about sales funnels. We're going to talk about e-commerce. We're going to talk about building websites. We're going to talk about how to hire VAs. We're going to talk about all of this stuff that it truly took me all of those investments in the last 8+ years to learn. We're going to talk about that stuff in just a couple of months. Or the time frame of that program is going to be just a few months, like 2 or 3. And it's going to be like an intensive course so that you can get all of that education that I had to, bust my butt in order to learn. But before I fill those coaching seats, I want to have discovery calls, and these are totally free, open sessions. Not open, but like totally free sessions for you and I to have a one-on-one conversation about where you are in your business, what you want to achieve, what your goals are, what you want for your future self or for your future family, where you want to go with this. I mean, this is the stuff that got me to 6 figures. This is the stuff that helped me grow and build my business. This is what gets me away from my desk. This is what gives me the freedom to choose the schedule that I want to choose, and run my business successfully. So if you want that, if you have that gut feeling that you're ready for more and that there's something better out there, let's start that conversation. Let's begin to talk and see if it's a good fit. Because you are worth so much more than just your monetary investment. You're worth even more than the time that you put into these things. You are worth more than the sum of your business. You are worth more than just what other people think of you. And you are worth more than your story and your narrative. And you can get there by investing in yourself, taking that time, and really dedicating yourself to something that is going to propel you forward and give you the success that you're looking for. So I'm going to post a link in the chat in just a minute. I have to actually create the link, but take the time, schedule a one-on-one discovery call or consultation, or honestly, it's literally just a conversation between 2 business owners. Even if you don't own a business and you're just thinking about it, or you're just getting started in this internet marketing game, let's talk, because I want to know who you are, where you're at, and I want to hear more about your story, because I truly care. And my passion is helping female entrepreneurs not have to go through all of the that I went through over the last years to get myself last few years to get myself to 6 figures and create this life of freedom and success in my business that you want as well. So even if you don't have a business right now, even if you have a business but you're struggling, if you have a business but you're not quite sure about this whole internet thing or e-commerce or what the hell is a CRM and what do all these acronyms stand for, like, let's talk. Let's begin to have that conversation just between you and I. And I want to hear your story. I want you to tell me about your narrative. I want to know what's going on in your life. So I'm going to post the link in just a second. Look for that. Share this video out if you think that other people can find value in it. And I'll see you on our discovery calls. Have a great day, guys. Thanks. Bye.